Hi, I'm about to feed my sourdough starter and also prep the dough for sourdough pancakes for tomorrow morning. I'm doing this early on in the trip because I think this is one of my more ambitious projects, and if it does not go well today, I probably won't do it again. But if it does go well, I'll have pancakes for 3 breakfasts, and I can do that at each campsite where I'm spending, 3 to 5 days. So that will be a delicious breakfast in the morning. So let's see how it goes. Okay, so the ingredients for the sourdough starter are just the sourdough starter, flour, and water. And I'm going to prep that first just to make sure I have enough sourdough starter to maintain the starter. And then I can use what's left over to prep the batter for the sourdough pancakes. The ingredients for the sourdough pancakes are sourdough starter, maple syrup, apple cider vinegar, flour, water, and then so we mix that tonight, and then tomorrow morning I'll add in baking soda, salt, lemon juice, and I have some blueberries in the car, so there'll be blueberry sourdough pancakes. So let's get started. So for the sourdough starter, to feed it, I'm going to take a half cup of the sourdough starter that I already have, mix it with a half cup of water. So I'm going to mix that first, and then I will add 1 cup of flour, and I will set that aside. Just going to mix it until it's kind of a thin, easily pourable mixture. Will make mixing in the flour a lot easier. Okay, no lumps really. Great. Because I'm going to use this same jar to put the newly fed starter back in, I'm going to empty this and start the sourdough pancakes. So I'm actually going to be doing it kind of interspersed. So we'll see how much sourdough starter I have here. The recipe calls for a cup. That makes a ton of pancakes, so I'm hoping it's actually less, and that way I don't have to throw out any starter. Okay, so I just emptied the jar that had the sourdough starter in it. It's kind of a mess. That's really the problem with this, is that it's so sticky, so it makes it really difficult to clean. But I'm going to try to soak it a little bit and add a little of the soap. I have some Dr. Bronner's soap, which is biodegradable, it says, so I'll still dispose of it in the dirty water areas, as I have some white vinegar, so that's what I'm going to be using to clean things on the road. So I'm just going to put a little squirt in here, just put a real little bit of water. I had a pair of old leggings that I just cut up. I'm going to use those as dish rags and towels on the road. Seems to be doing pretty well, actually. I'm going to dump this in, and one more, and then I'll wipe it out. I'll wipe out the lid. There we go. And then be ready to put the new starter back in. Yeah, that's not doing too bad. All right. It was good. The starter was pretty liquidy today. I think because it was kind of warm in the car on the drive. Sometimes when I take it right out of the refrigerator, it's pretty thickened. Now I'm going to put the mixed water and sourdough starter back in this container. I'm going to wipe this out real quick so it doesn't get all sticky. Yeah, I think this is going to be a multi-towel project. We'll see how easy it is to clean it up in the laundry. I also try not to use paper towels. I'm trying to keep the waste down. Partly because I just don't want to keep it with me in case it's hard to find a good trash can. And partly because less room in the car, better for the environment. This is just a sticky project. Okay. My flour here. We'll take a cup of flour to mix in. I don't know. This is just something that was ingrained in me from an early age, I guess, because I'm not really a baker. But this whole like tap, 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 off, off. I can still remember my mom doing that when she would bake. So I must have just absorbed that. All right, so we'll mix it in a bit at a time. Ooh, it's a little windy. We'll have to keep that in mind. It's definitely helpful that it was on the thinner side when I started. Now it's getting thicker. Gotta get a little elbow grease in there. It smells good. All right. It's a good, nice, good consistency there. So, put that back with the other dough. And just put this lid on loosely. It'll be good for a week, which is when will be my first day in Zion. So if this goes well, I'll be doing this again in a week, and hopefully the temperatures will be low enough at night to keep it kind of cool so I don't have to feed it before next Sunday. If it starts bubbling up too much, I might have to feed it in the middle of the week or find some ice to put it in to keep it cold so that I don't have to feed it again before next Sunday. So I'm going to put that aside and now to the pancake batter. Okay, I've made this recipe 3 times before, but I don't know it well enough to do it without the recipe. So I made some index cards to bring with me for some of the recipes that I wanted to try on the trip. So here we have night before, we need to mix the water, vinegar, starter, flour, and maple syrup. Then we cover and set it in a warm place overnight. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to keep the starter cold, but the batter warm. We'll figure that out. So we have, it's about a cup of starter. So hopefully Chris will be hungry for pancakes when he gets here on Wednesday. So 1 cup starter, 2 cups flour, 2 cups water, 1 teaspoon apple cider vinegar, and 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. So we've got 1 cup, we need to add 2 cups, so I'm gonna add it to the 3 cup mark. I pour this into my mixing bowl, which is where I house the batter overnight. Pour gently so it doesn't splatter. Yeah, it's definitely the hard part of this is I'm going to be using up so many towels. We're going to figure out I'm going to have to clean those towels too. Okay, now we're going to add 2 cups of flour. So back to the Kate Fry way of measuring out flour. I actually even got this container because I remembered she had one kind of like this. And when I was trying to do it straight from the bag, it just got everywhere. I'm sure Kate Fry was not the only one who measured this way, but she's the only one I've seen measure this way. That's probably also because I don't watch a lot of baking stuff.
Actually, I need to put more in at a time because I put in too little. This one's cooked very well. One cup.
I had actually originally started the sourdough starter thinking that I might be able to do my own sourdough bread on this trip, but I was not good even at home making sourdough bread, so I scrapped that idea. But I liked the pancakes so much, you use the starter discard, that I thought that that's perfect. I can keep the sourdough starter if I want to pick it back up when I'm home, or at any rate make some really delicious pancakes on the road. Let me do my second cup. Ooh. So far it's not so bad of a process. It does take a while, but it takes this much time at home too. And if I'm doing it on my first day, I had kind of scheduled my trip to be in places for long enough where I could take a day to do a lot of prep cooking so that I can eat well the rest of the time and not spend too much time cooking every day. Okay, I'm just going to put this up actually so you can see overhead. It's a nice looking batter. We got some bubbles already, that's good. I'm going to add the rest of the ingredients for tonight: vinegar and maple syrup. Okay, so I'm going to do 1 teaspoon apple cider vinegar. I don't know where my teaspoon is. I have a 1/4 teaspoon, so I'll do 4 of those. One, two. I'm going to do a heavy 3 there. 2 tablespoons maple syrup. 1, 2. That's good. And not a bad perk, but just gonna lick the tablespoon clean, just for efficiency's sake.
Mix these in.
Okay, I think that's it. Mix water, vinegar, starter, flour, and maple syrup, which I did. Tomorrow we'll add salt, baking soda, lemon juice, and the blueberries. So I'm gonna put this on top and go put it in the car. So that's that for tonight. I'm gonna do a little cleanup, and then I'm gonna start cooking dinner. And I'll be back tomorrow with how the pancake batter came out, and we'll see how it goes in the morning. See you tomorrow. So one last thing before I go tonight, actually, to clean up the towels that have all the sticky starter on them. I put them in this dry bag, put some water and some Dr. Bronner's soap, and I'm just gonna let it soak probably until I'm done making the pancakes tomorrow, because I may have to add in some more towels. But I'm just gonna let it sit basically and see if that makes it an easy cleanup on these towels, because they're pretty sticky. All right, I'm gonna let them sit. All right, so I just pulled the sourdough pancake batter out of the car, and it felt warm. It has separated a little bit, but that looks all right. So I'm just gonna mix it in, and we'll see if we can get this batter looking a little nicer. All right, yeah, that batter's looking nicer now. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in the remaining ingredients. Okay, I'm gonna do a ½ teaspoon salt. Got my ¼ teaspoon here. Got this little acorn salt cup that I got in at kind of an arts fair in Louisiana when I lived there. And Nancy got it for me for my birthday one year, so thank you, Nancy. Okay, ½ teaspoon baking soda. And some lemon juice. Mix it all in. The lemon juice makes it a little frothy. I've made it with and without the lemon juice, and the lemon juices are really good. It gives it kind of an even tangier taste. I'm going to show you the batter now. I think we're ready to go. All right, here we are. The final product. Not pretty, but I think it'll taste good. Starting with 4 and still look how much is left. All right, let's taste it. That's a nice sourdough pancake. Success. Okay, just pulled the towels out of my wash bag from yesterday's starter and batter making. And not too bad, actually. They are not as doughy as I thought they were going to be. So I just gave them another rinse, and now they're setting out to dry. We'll see if they actually got clean or not, or clean enough anyway. So, final verdict on the sourdough pancakes. I think it was all right. I'm not 100% sure I'll do it every week, so it's probably not worth it if I'm going to be anywhere for less than 5 days, because it is very time consuming. But the pancakes were really tasty, and I have enough at least for the next 2 days, probably 3 days, so I don't need to cook breakfast in the morning. I'll just warm them up. Things to do better. The batter was a little thin, and so I think that it was the blueberries were actually too tall for the batter, and it wasn't cooking evenly. So I'll probably make the batter a little thicker next time. Also, I just got a new cast iron frying pan because for some reason I gave mine away when I was getting ready to move. And I don't think it was seasoned well enough because it was definitely sticking. So I think next time the cooking will go a little quicker and less messy. Hopefully the pancakes will look nicer and not too bad. So I think I'm going to give it a B+, and we'll see how it goes in Zion. I'll keep you updated.